Richard Vargas found his voice somewhere in between Charles Bukowski and Edward Field. He's afraid of Americans, but he's not for us. So please welcome to the stage, Richard Vargas.
Right here, you don't have to text me.
My 10 minutes. You probably start to Michelle on Roadside, to the attic last night, to the crew here at Culture Clash who are sharing the sacred space with us. Salute. At this age, I've realized it's a lot easier being a poet than it was when I was a kid. This poem is called What Does It Mean? The girl on stage had the face of a young Mayan princess, the body of a Playboy centerfold. Tugging at her black bikini bottoms, she smiled at me. And if I'd had it to bargain with, my soul would have been hers. Which brings to mind my 8th grade English teacher and the time she kept me after class to discuss something I had written. She paced back and forth in front of my desk, looking like a conviction-crazed prosecutor warming up for the kill. She waved my composition in front of my face like it was a piece of prized evidence. This bit about looking up the girl's dress in your math class? What does it mean? She caught me by surprise, and I just sat there like a startled jackrabbit, blinded by a pair of approaching headlights. This poem is titled Piss Test. Dick in hand, plastic cup in the other, waiting for something to happen. The faucets on the sink are gone. The drain is plugged. The window is locked. A sign on the wall says, "Don't flush." Your bladder relaxes. You pee the required amount. Realize you hold your innocence in your hand. Wonder how it has come to this. Scariest dream ever. Woke up, stumbled to the bathroom to pee, turned on the light, pulled down shorts, screamed, Nike swoosh on the head of my dick. This poem is titled Soul Name. The second time we met at Sunny's bar, she was telling me about the short stories of Paul Bowles and how some of them made her feel high. She said she was going home to get the book for me, and I'm thinking, yeah, right. But 15 minutes later, she walks back in, puts the book in front of me on the bar, orders another beer. Later, the drunk jailbird from Arizona, who had been bumming drinks all night, leans over and asks if she'd like to go make out in the parking lot. The great ones never miss an opening, and I knew she was something special when, shaking her head no, she looks at me and says, "I'd rather have my nipples shaved off with a cheese grater." This is the Screw City Poems, which came out this summer. This poem is for Julio Cesar Chavez. Tequila. Drinking it straight is kind of like climbing into the ring with a real pro, one of those Mexican fighters with a record of 40 wins by knockout and 2 losses by TKO. So the first shot goes down like liquid fire, and man, you know you're alive. Dancing and juking, keeping a safe distance, scoring with jabs and uppercuts at will. It feels so good. You order another. More fire in the gut. Forget the lemon and salt. You ain't no sissy. Your opponent has a trickle of blood squirting from the corner of his eye. The black man with a silver head of hair sticking straight up, sitting at ringside, is smiling his toothy grin, blinding you with that timeless flash of polished gold. Hell, you say, this is so easy. Another, please, and this shot is smooth. The fire now more like a hot kiss. The young woman on the bar stool next to you is impressed and squeezes your knee. The Mexican boxer begins to wear down, his breathing telling you his heart is going to explode any minute. He's yours for the taking. You order another and another, admiring the Amazon strutting around the ring, holding up the posters announcing what round it is, knowing you can have your pick, or maybe all of them, later. Then, sensing it's time to finish him off, you decide to go in for the kill. And suddenly, he switches his stance. You were fighting a right-hander, but now he's a lefty. You walking into a headshot that lowers your jaw to the bar. You're back to the ropes. He begins to jab hot pokers of leather into your ribs, tenderizing you like one big piece of meat. And while lowering your arms to protect your body, you hear your date ask from far, far away, Can, you, still, drive. Feel her hands in your pockets, searching for the keys, as Tequila grins back at you with scheming conquistador eyes.